What's up, YouTube fam? Today we're gonna bring you a video about the cost of living in Desert Shores. This is one of the communities that I think a lot of people don't know that exists here in Las Vegas. And as you can see behind me, you even got a man-made lake that you can have in your backyard. So stay tuned, let's hop into the video. Hey guys, so we got some guests with us on this video today. You got a duck coming right behind you, coming in hot. Before we hop into today's video and break down all the numbers about what it takes to live here in Desert Shores, I want to take you on a quick tour, show you some of the sights, sounds of everything that you can see in the area, because to me, this is one of the most special communities in all of Las Vegas. Not a lot of people know about these lakes and the fact that you can actually have a lakefront house in the middle of Las Vegas. So let's take a look and then we'll jump into the numbers. Look at that. Today we got all kinds of guests for you guys. We had dogs, we got ducks, we got everything out here at Desert Shores. So like I was saying, this community is a pretty tight-knit community, very unheard of. I don't ever hear too many people talking about Desert Shores, but to me, this is one of the coolest spots in all of Las Vegas. Definitely under the radar. And you can see, right, I mean, just to have a lake house in Las Vegas, right on the water, a lot of people would probably doubt you if you ever told them that. So you would definitely be one of the few people that could say that. Before we hop into these numbers, I really wanted to talk about the Racket Club. It's called the Desert Shores Racket Club. It's a guard-gated community with 60 patio homes and 135 townhomes. So it's pretty exclusive. You have access to that entire facility. And obviously with these lakes, this is called Lake Jacqueline. It's one of the largest lakes amongst the four that are all located within the Desert Shores community. Got my trusty laptop here, so don't mind me. I want to bring you guys all the latest information from the MLS about Desert Shores. So I pulled the listings this morning, and there are 30 properties for sale currently, ranging anywhere from $120,000, which is a condo, all the way up to $1 million. So I think for all of you that are watching these videos, we got a good range to give you an idea. So I'm gonna give you some data from each kind of entry point, 120,000, maybe we'll go to 300,000 or 400,000, and then we'll go all the way up to $1 million, give you an idea of purchase price, HOAs, and property taxes. So first up, we have the $120,000 condo. It's about 704 square feet, and the HOA, the monthly HOA is $189 a month. So if you've been watching our channel, remember Las Vegas has a ton of HOAs, especially if you're living in condos. HOAs are going to be slightly higher than living in a single family home. So remember, your monthly payment is going to comprise of your principal, your interest, your taxes, your property taxes, and your homeowner's insurance, and the HOA. So the HOA you'll pay separately, but remember, if you're working with a specific budget, don't forget to include your HOA payment. Sometimes when you talk to lenders, they may qualify you maybe without the HOA. So that's something that make sure that when you're talking to a lender, they give you all the numbers. Ask about the HOA because again, that's something that's very common here in Las Vegas. And on this specific property, like I also mentioned in some of our other videos, property taxes are a little cheaper. So this condo at $120,000, the annual taxes are $332. So super cheap, less than $30 a month. Second up on our list, we have a single family home for about $350,000. This property is about 1,700 square feet. You have 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, so a pretty basic house, pretty standard. Your monthly HOA is $80 a month. So you can see the difference between the condo and the HOA, the condo and the single family home, only $80 a month. So that's pretty reasonable. And property taxes, you're looking at about $2,100 a year in property taxes. So a lot of times some people will estimate their property taxes maybe 1% here in Las Vegas, but obviously in this case, it's a little less. But if you wanted to run numbers without talking to a lender or a realtor, you could probably use 1% as a general rule of thumb to just calculate some rough figures in order for you to see if you would be okay with the payment or it's something you might be able to qualify for. All right, next up, we have a single family home for $785,000. 3,900 square feet, 3 bedroom, 3 bath, and the monthly HOA, there's actually 2. There's a master plan fee and the HOA. Master plan is $100 a month and the HOA is $69 a month. Now you might be saying to yourself, well, you just said the other property was $80, but that's why you need to check with your real estate agent, because each of these properties could have their own HOA, depending on maybe if they're behind another guard gated community, if they have other amenities that maybe the other home wasn't behind as well. This is a 4 bedroom, 3 bath home, about 3,200 square feet. And as far as the HOA goes, we have 1 HOA of $84 a month, and your property taxes, you're looking at $5,400 a year, and that will give you the high-end $1 million property if you're looking to live here in the Desert Shores community. All right, so let's hop into some additional costs about living here in Desert Shores. So you do have a water reclamation bill that comes out every quarter. On one of my properties, the last time I paid this, I paid about $160. So like I said, you get that bill every quarter. As far as cable goes, it just depends on your type of service. DirecTV is pretty common out here, or you get Cox. Cox is one of the main providers. I personally have YouTube TV because I like the whole YouTube TV. It's just way more convenient. You can, DVR whatever you want and pick up all the shows. So I personally use that, and I think I spend maybe $60, $70 a month on that. So just depending on how much you watch TV, what you're comfortable with. But your cable bill, you could be looking at about $60, $70. Now, as far as the internet goes, Cox, again, is one of the main providers. I pay about $100 a month for my cable bill, my internet bill. A lot of people complain about Cox, and then they also look at CenturyLink. So I think it just depends on what you want to pay. I think CenturyLink might be a tad cheaper. But me personally, I've never had too many issues with Cox, so I'm okay with it. I've had it ever since I've been living in Las Vegas. But I do hear a lot of people that do complain about it. And I think it just depends on how much bandwidth you need. If you have multiple people in the house, if you got kids on Zoom calls for school, even for yourself for work. So I think do your homework and when it comes to that type of stuff. Because again, like I said, those are the 2 big providers, Cox and CenturyLink. All right, water bill. For about 1,400 square foot home, you might be looking at maybe $40 a month. So just depending, again, how many people you have in your home, how much water you folks use, if the shower's running, the faucet's running. But, for an average size home, you're looking at maybe $40 a month. For your energy bill, again, on an average size home, you might be looking at about $100 a month. But it also just depends on, how much electricity you guys are using. Are the lights on, the AC's running, all those types of things. Well, right now we got the heater, so your gas bill might be a little more higher than what it is in the summertime. But for an average home, you're looking at about $100. And last but not least, your gas bill, which is all done through Southwest Gas here in Las Vegas. And again, on an average house, you're looking at maybe 80 to 100 bucks a month right now during the winter time. Again, some of you folks that are relocating from the East Coast or even colder parts of the country, you may not use maybe your heater as much, so your gas bill might be a little cheaper. But I personally run my house at about 73-ish, 70, 73, and it comes out to about 80 bucks or so a month, so not too bad. But again, hey, if you're more accustomed to a little colder climates, maybe you don't need to run your heater as much. I remember back in the day in college, we'd be wearing hoodies, sweatpants, beanies in the house, and we just kept the house cold. So it really just depends on what your comfortability is. And here's some extra things to think about depending on the type of property you have. So if you have a pool, you might want to hire a pool guy. I have a pool guy that comes and cleans my pool every single week. I pay him 100 bucks a month. Yep, 100 bucks a month. I think that's pretty cheap, and that's kind of the going rate. I've gone through a few pool guys here in Vegas. I just felt like a lot of the guys I initially hired, I honestly don't even know if they were doing their job. So I fired them. But this current guy that I have, he's been cleaning my pool now probably for the past 4 or 5 years. So super cool guy, 100 bucks. He comes out every single week, scrubs the pool, changes the filters, does all that stuff for me. And if you need a landscaper, I have a guy come to my house maybe every quarter or so, and I think he only charges me maybe like 80 bucks. Trims the bushes, cuts back the trees from touching the roof and stuff like that. It just kind of spruces up everything. So not too bad. Obviously that can all depend on how expansive your backyard is, how many trees you have, how many bushes. But my house, pretty simple, nothing crazy. So he comes out every quarter, trims everything back, pretty cheap. And another cool thing in Las Vegas is there's a lot of mobile car wash people that go around, and they'll actually come to your house and wash your car. So me personally, I hate washing my car, and I can't stand going to a car wash to go through the machines and stuff, because obviously that can affect your paint. So I have a buddy of mine, he'll come to my house, he can wash the car right there, and it's all done by hand, obviously. But he usually charges me maybe like 50, 60 bucks to do it. So I've even had him come to the office when we did have the office, and he could wash cars at the office. So there's a lot of places like that in Las Vegas. Obviously, working from home, you may not have that luxury right now, but maybe even once you go back to the office, maybe somebody in your complex or in your office has the ability to have someone come and do a car wash for you. So it's super convenient. I love it, especially in the summertime. The last thing you want to do is probably go outside in 115-degree heat to wash your car down. So those are some extra things to think about when you come here to help you, with your adjustment to Las Vegas. All right, so there you have it. We gave you the rundown about Desert Shores, the cost of living, gave you a few homes to think about in terms of purchase price, HOAs, property taxes, and some utility bills, and just your day-to-day living. So I hope this helps you understand and maybe budget a little in terms of your move and maybe what your costs will be in the future for yourself. So I always appreciate you guys watching, and for those of you that comment on our videos and ask us questions, I appreciate you guys. But don't forget, hit that like, hit the subscribe, so that way you get notified every time we drop a video. And drop us some comments. And when you hit that like button, it helps us grow our video even more and get in front of more people. So we appreciate you guys supporting us from day one on our journey. And I've got to run to a meeting, so I'll catch you on the next one.